Welcome back, everybody. Last year, just 4% of the top 100 box office films were made by female directors. It's not much better on the acting side of the things either. Women still struggle to lead big Hollywood movies. And that is something our next guest is trying to rebalance with a festival celebrating women aged over the age of 50, in front and behind the camera as well. We'll find out how in just a moment, but first, let's have a little watch of some of last year's festival highlights.
You were incredible.
I'm flattered.
And that is why we want you to play one of the witches.
I thought you wanted me to play Lady Macbeth.
She's young enough to have children.
Women can have children in their 50s.
Our Macbeth is 35.
How interesting, then, if you fell for a complex, determined older woman like me.
About half the residents are assisted. The other half are indies. That's independent for you slow people. And Flora was very proud that she was in the independent section.
I'll have another coffee. And speaking of coffee, did I mention that I'm in the independent section?
Several times.
Mom.
Forgive me, gentlemen, but I fear no woman of sound mind would deem the absurd notion of being thin worthy of a second thought.
She is bloody right.
Well, it's great to see some of those clips. Nuala O'Sullivan from the festival joins us now. Morning to you. Lovely
Hello.
Lovely to see you. Just tell us about how the idea of this came around.
Well, I was a woman in my 50s. I was a writer and producer, mostly for radio and theatre. And then I wrote and produced a short film, and it was about an older woman. And then I started going to short film festivals, and I just didn't see very many older women like me on screen, really driving action, being the centre of their story. Or when I was talking to people afterwards in the bar, I wasn't seeing very many older women who were writers or directors or producers. And I just thought, well, I'm not having it. I'm going to start up my own film festival celebrating the work that older women all the work that we do, because it just can't be true that once you get 50 or over 40 or anything that you would stop being creative and producing work. And I just wanted to put that really front and centre and celebrate older women in the world.
So how do the films sort of qualify to be part of this festival then? What are the parameters?
So we're in our 5th year, and the rule that we came up with in our first year is still the rule we live by. So the short film has to have a woman over 50 at the heart of it on screen, so really driving the action or being the central documentary subject, or a woman over 50 as the writer, producer, director. So in the end, you've got this super welcoming, inclusive festival, because I'm looking at both of you and I don't think I'm seeing a woman or someone over 50.
You are actually. Clear. I am 50.
Only just.
No, I am 50. I'm very nearly 51.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, so, but both of you would be really welcome at the festival, because you could make a film about your presenter, you can make a drama about me, and you would be welcome to come to the festival. Right. I could make a film about a 23-year-old woman, and that could come in.
Do you see people changing their filmmaking? Think, oh, actually, we want to be part of this festival. Let's, who have we got on our list who might be female and over 50?
Well, I think so. And we do quite a lot of work with students in film schools, and we do a lot of outreach work there. And we're always saying, think about your central character and what is it that makes somebody 25 more or less interesting than someone at 55? And, why don't you put 20 years on your character and see what happens to her? So we're definitely encouraging people to think like that, for sure.
I suppose it's a perception change as well. If you ask most people to name male directors, they could probably rattle off quite a few. But if you ask them to name female directors, I suppose Catherine Bigelow would be the one you'd get to because of winning the Oscar. But other than that, is it about making sure that I suppose that's part of it, isn't it? Giving them that ability to have the platform, I suppose.
Yeah, it's about celebrating those women and for women to step up into the spotlight, because we're always creating, we're always working, and it's about, I guess it's about the big Hollywood and big studio systems that maybe aren't really elevating women, and we're really about that.
And do you think there's been a change? Because there's been so much chat, hasn't there? A serious discussion about Me Too, for example, but also over equal pay in the film industry. Do you think it is changing and we're getting more women leading, for example, big Hollywood movies?
Well, yes, I mean, we're definitely seeing more women, you know, Wonder Woman, you know, lots of big films that are coming out that women are directing. I think part of the Me Too and the equal pay is beginning to bring this up. The statistics show that actually if there is a woman behind the camera, the diversity of the cast and crew increases dramatically. So what's really interesting, I think, is that if you elevate one underrepresented voice, actually everyone gets elevated.
Yeah, I suppose while your festival is sort of celebrating the over 50s, it's all part of the same movement in that regard, isn't it? In that you want the next generation of young women coming through to think this is something I can do, this is an industry I can thrive in.
Indeed, and to be even part of the audience too. We have a lot of young women who come to the festival and they're looking for role models, and they see these amazing women. We have films from all around the world, these incredible lives from China and Russia and Greece, and these younger women are seeing ways that they can live and be as filmmakers and just as women in the world.
Oh, it's lovely to meet you. The Women Over 50 Film Festival takes place at Depot in Lewis, is that right?
That's right.
On the 20th to the 22nd of September, you've got lots of films. Thank you.
And we're in home at Manchester tonight.
Oh, excellent. Lovely to see you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
That is it from us today. We are back tomorrow, but now it is time for Animal Park Summer Special on BBC One.